Guys, it's Destiny, and today we're going to be showcasing Anaxa alongside the Herta. Before we get into today's video, I would love to know if you are personally going for Anaxa yourselves or potentially considering skipping him and for who. And lastly, if you enjoy videos like these, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video, and now let's get straight into it. Today we are going to be showcasing Anaxa alongside the Herta, Tribbie, and then Linksha. When it comes to the slot of Linksha and Tribbie, you can use alternative options as well for your support and your sustain. Today, and we're going to be beating up Flame Reaver. I wanted to really show how Anaxa is a really nice partner to use alongside the Herta, and we're going to start off by using Linksha's skill. The reason this is because Linksha is going to be able to hit all enemies here and regenerate more energy for Tribbie as well as Herta. Now for Anaxa, we are going to use his skill right here and implant some weaknesses onto enemies and then follow up here with his ultimate. His ultimate is going to attack all enemies and then inflict them with sublimation, which will make them have all weaknesses on them. And boom goes Tribbie. Now with Tribbie, I am going to use her ultimate. The reason this is I do want to take advantage of the zone from her ultimate to deal more damage onto enemies. Boom, there we go. And now with Herta, as you guys can see, we almost have enough energy for our ultimate. And all these enemies here look like they're just frozen. And this is due to the fact that they do have sublimation inflicted onto them. And they also have qualitative disclosure inflicted onto them, which will make Anaxa deal more damage to them. And also, whenever he uses his basic attack or skill on a target, he will additionally use his skill one time. So I'll be able to showcase this for you all very shortly. So what we're going to do with the Herta is we are going to use her skill, and then I am also going to follow up with her ultimate right here. And now we can use the enhanced skill, which will allow us to deal a bunch of damage like so. There we go. And now with Tribbie, we can just basic attack. Linksha's bunny is going to come in. With Linksha, I am just going to basic attack. There we go. We already have Linksha's ultimate. I am going to be saving this for the next wave. And now with Anaxa, so as you guys can see, both of these enemies have enough weaknesses on them, which you need 5 or more weaknesses inflicted onto enemies so that they count as having the qualitative disclosure state, right? So what we're going to do is we're actually going to basic attack. Anaxa will use his skill immediately afterwards. So we're just going to basic attack. Boom. There we go. And now he's going to use his skill immediately afterwards, and it does not consume any skill points. So now we're going on to the next wave here with Flame Reaver, and Linksha's bunny comes in. We are going to save the ultimate right here though, because Hyacine is about to attack anyway. So I want to wave until Flame Reaver's second wave of minions. So what we're going to do is we can just basic attack like so. With Anaxa, we now have enough energy to use his ultimate. And real quick, something really cool about Anaxa is his Trace Roaming Signifier. When he uses his basic attack, he will additionally regenerate 10 energy, which is awesome just for being able to get more energy to use his ultimate sooner. But something really cool is that at the start of the turn, if there's no enemies with qualitative disclosure, he will immediately regenerate 30 energy. As you guys can see, we already have 140 energy again for his ultimate. Because of the fact that Flame Reaver did not have qualitative disclosure as well as his minions, this allowed us to get that additional 30 energy, which now allows us to have Anaxa's ultimate available. So we are going to use his ultimate like so, and the reason we are doing this is to ensure that we have all the weaknesses inflicted right now, so Anaxa is going to be able to use his skill. We have 4 skill points, might as well use his skill, and then we'll be able to do 2 skills in a row. And now with the Herta, we are going to skill. And I am also going to follow up here with her ultimate. And there we go. And now we can just use her enhanced skill like so. Now Hyacine will come in. With Tribbie, I am just going to use her ultimate. Due to the fact that we do have enough energy to do so, I will just basic attack. I am going to hold off on using Linksha's ultimate right here just because I want Flame Reaver to summon his little minions, or rather his clones, before I use the ultimate. Okay, so Huyacine's gonna come in. And now I am going to use Linksha's ultimate, just so we are able to take advantage of this here. Tribbie's gonna come in, nice. And we are getting more and more energy here for Big Herta. We can use Anaxa's skill. There we go. Now with Herta, we can use her skill and also follow up here with her ultimate. All right, boom, there we go. Tribbie's gonna come in with her follow-up. And nice, that was enough damage right there. We are going to use Tribbie's ultimate once again, just push everyone up. And now with Anaxa, we can inflict sublimation on all these enemies and also inflict them with qualitative disclosure at the same time. As you guys can see, we have qualitative disclosure and also sublimation. And now with Herta, we can just use her enhanced skill and boom, there we go. And now the turbulence will come in. We're already at 43% here on Flame Reaver. And what we're gonna do with Linksha is we can just basic attack. With Anaxa, we are going to use the skill, but real quick, I wanted to show you guys, it is a little tiny on the screen since the qualitative disclosure symbol is above Flame Reaver, but currently Flame Reaver has 33 stacks of interpretation. So what's really nice about Anaxa here is since he is able to attack twice in a row, we can actually take advantage of this to deal quite a lot of interpretation stacks onto enemies. So we are just going to use his skill like so. Now we are at 37 stacks. And now another skill, and now we are at 41 stacks, so there we go. Just wanted to show that off as Anaxa is very handy for being able to stack more interpretation onto enemies, and also since he is able to skill twice in a row, he's going to be very useful for getting more energy for the Herta, and if you are using Tribbie on the team, then Tribbie as well. So with Tribbie, we are just going to skill. With Big Herta, I am going to use her skill, but I'm not going to use her ultimate just yet. I want to use it soon though, because I want Flame Reaver to summon his minions. So now with Herta, I can just use her ultimate. And boom, Tribbie's also going to come in, which is awesome. We can basic attack here with Linksha. And now with Big Herta, we can use her enhanced skill. What bam. And now Uyuan is going to come in. And now Anaxa will actually be the one to finish off this fight. We are going to use his skill. And we actually will be able to get enough energy for his ultimate as well. So we could have used his ultimate if need be to finish off that fight. And there we go. We were able to clear that in only one cycle, which I think is awesome. For today's build here is Anaxa. Nice amount of crit rate, nice amount of crit damage. And we can just scroll through. And when it comes to building Anaxa, you will want to focus on his crit rate, his crit damage, his speed, and then his attack. And another cool thing about Anaxa when it comes to being paired alongside Erudition characters is he has this trace called Imperative Hiatus, which will trigger one effect in the current battle based on the number of characters of the Erudition path. So if it's only one character, so basically Anaxa by himself, no other Erudition character, Anaxa's crit damage will increase by 140%. So if you did want to go a hyper carry Anaxa route, he is going to be able to give himself a bunch of crit damage, which does help out when it comes to just building him overall. But then if you have two characters of the Erudition path, he will be able to increase the damage dealt by all allies by 50%. So this is very useful as everyone basically got this damage boost in the team. And what's really nice about pairing him specifically with the Herta will be able to increase all allies crit damage by 80% when there are two or more Erudition characters. In this case, the Erudition characters would be the Herta herself and then Anaxa. So this is a really cool trace that Anaxa has. And then also another thing to note regarding his last trace is that for every different weakness type the enemy target has, the damage that Anaxa deals to that target ignores 4% of their defense, up to a max of 7 weakness types. So Anaxa will be able to take advantage of this to be able to deal more damage onto enemies. As noted, his ultimate will inflict all of the weaknesses onto enemies, and then each time Anaxa attacks enemy targets, he will inflict one random weakness type to the target, and this will last for 3 turns and prioritize the weakness type that the enemy has yet to receive. And then Anaxa will be able to take advantage of qualitative disclosure, which Anaxa will deal more damage to them, and this will also allow him to use that additional instance of his skill after he uses his basic attack or his skill. And once again, this additional skill does not consume any skill points either. The final thing I wanted to mention about Anaxa's kit is that his skill is bounce rather than just AoE. So because his skill is bounce, this actually makes him pretty nice in single target scenarios, as all of the 5 hits will actually hit that single target, as Anaxa will deal damage to one enemy and additionally deals 4 instances of damage as well, which those are the bounce attacks. And additionally, depending on how many enemy targets are available to attack on the battlefield when his skill is used, he will be able to increase the damage dealt by his skill by 20%. So Anaxa has a lot of ways to actually boost his own damage within battle. And we do have his signature Lycone equipped, but if you do not plan to pull this one, no problem. You can actually use the Great Cosmic Enterprise, which this is a free-to-play Lycone that you can acquire from the Star World event. For his traces, they're maxed out. For his relics, we're using Izamo as well as Scholar Lost and Erudition, and for Eidolons, he's completely E0. When it comes to the Herta, here is her build, and we can just quickly go through this here. She does have her signature light cone, but you can use alternative options. And then she has maxed out traces. For her relics, we also have Isamo as well as Scholarless and Erudition. Eidolon's completely E0. I've not activated any of these. Here is Tribbie. You can just quickly go through her stats. She is holding Dance Dance Dance. For her traces, they're maxed out. For her relics, we're using Bone Collection and Poet of Morning Collapse, and she is also E0. For Lingsha, here she is. We are using Dreams Montage primarily for the additional speed, but you can definitely use alternative options in this one. For the traces, they are maxed out. Lastly, for the relics, we're using 2-piece Forge, 2-piece Iron Brick set, and then 2-piece Messenger. But you can definitely do different mixtures of 2-piece sets or even use 4-piece sets. It ultimately just comes down to how you already have your Lingsha built. For her Eidolons, completely E0. I've not activated any of these. And yeah, that'll basically be it for today's showcase. I would definitely say that Anaxa is one of Herta's best partners due to the fact that he is able to unleash as many skills as he does, especially when enemies have qualitative disclosure inflicted onto them. And he is able to give that additional damage boost for the team, which will strengthen Herta's damage output as well. So Anaxa overall is just a very, very nice partner to use alongside her. But overall, this showcase was very fun to do. Anaxa just looks super cool. I personally really like his design. I'm very happy that he's a very strong pair for the Herta, as the Herta is the primary character I personally play on my own account. He's my favorite damage dealer, so I'm very, very happy that they work very nicely together, as I definitely will be pairing Anaxa alongside the Herta once he does release. But do let me know if there's any other showcases you'd like to see from me, and I hope you all did enjoy this video, and if you did, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video, and I hope to see you all next time. Peace.